Hi there, welcome back to my views and news. Two new stories and one update for you. Firstly, hand grenades have been thrown in a city in Tigray. Some people have been injured. Where did this unfortunate incident happen? Who could be the attacker? Secondly, big news from Eritrea. People are saying that today's development is an indication of coming diplomatic victory for Eritrea in the Horn of Africa. So, what happened? Before these two new stories for you, an update. I told you about Lidetto Ayalio in the last video. I said Lidetto tried to board a flight at Atlanta airport in the US flight bound for Addis Ababa. He had bought a ticket days ago. He had all the travel documents too, but he was not allowed to board the flight by Ethiopian Airlines. He was told to get permission from Ethiopian embassy in Washington. He was told that he could be arrested. He shouldn't go to Addis Ababa. He was not allowed to board the flight and he missed the flight. It has been confirmed by Lidetto himself. Lidetto announced last month to come to Ethiopia to start political activities. Lidetto went into self-exile almost 2 years ago. He did not have good relations with PM Abiy back then. PM Abiy tried to stop him from leaving Ethiopia back then. Somehow he managed to leave. Now he's returning to Ethiopia with only a year away from election. So he wants to resume activities as a politician. That is why he's been denied in Ethiopia. But Tinubu has announced that he is going to come to Ethiopia through another carrier, not Ethiopian Airlines. Ethiopian Airlines don't allow him to board the flight, but he's going to buy a ticket of another non-Ethiopian airline. Will that airline allow him to board the plane? Maybe that airline will allow him to board the plane, and then what happens in Addis Ababa remains to be seen. Will he be allowed to enter Ethiopia? Will he be arrested at Addis Ababa airport? That remains to be seen. So he'll buy a new ticket of a non-Ethiopian airline, maybe some Western airline, and then we'll see when he manages to enter Ethiopia. Overall, it's a good sign that opposition politicians challenging Ethiopian PM Abiy. They are not frightened. They're saying, we're coming. Arrest us. But we want our rights. That should be the spirit, by the way. Politicians will have to lead from the front by tweeting 10 times a day, living in the US, staying in Europe, traveling across Europe. You cannot bring about any change in Ethiopia. You'll have to risk your lives if you are leaders. Yes, you'll be in danger. Yes, you could be arrested, but that is what the cost is. Cost of being a leader. Is it coming? Using another airline, it seems. Two news stories. Firstly, we was Tigray, where hand grenades had been thrown in a city in northwestern Tigray, Shire city. Shire city, Kabale 5, where on Monday, unknown perpetrators threw hand grenades outside an entertainment center, a bar, I think, situated in Kabale 5. The grenades exploded outside the venue and people were injured. Some mildly injured, other little seriously injured. 10 people were injured. This is the second time that hand grenades were thrown at this place. I don't know who is the attacker, who is the perpetrator. I think Tigray interim government administration has no writ there, but Tigray security forces are operating there. where the alert security forces are operating across Tigray. Police is there. Two police should investigate the matter. Last time when grenade was thrown, it did not explode. That is why people remained safe. This time the grenades exploded and people were injured. There could be some individual or group behind this attack. It isn't linked to ongoing political tension in Tigray. It seems to be a separate issue. Let's see, will police share details of who attacked this place twice in the last few days? Lastly, viewers, big news from Eritrea. It seems that Eritrea is going to be more important for the US in the Horn of Africa, more important than Ethiopia. Fenkel. Eritrean government celebrated Fenkel 48 hours ago. Savuki went to Massawa to participate in the ceremony held there. Who congratulated Eritrean people on Massawa, on Fenkel operation today? US Embassy in Eritrea. US Embassy in Asmara said, Happy Fenkel Day to all Eritreans. 10th of February 1990 was a historic day, almost quote unquote I'm reading, when 3-day military operation led to decisive victory and liberation of Massawa. And it paved the way for independence of Eritrea. It's very rare that US Embassy in... It's the first time in years since I started covering Eritrea that I have seen US Embassy in Asmara congratulate on Fenkel Operation Day. Why? Because a Fenkel operation was conducted against Ethiopian forces by Eritrean fighters. There were two players. Ethiopian forces lost. Eritrean fighters took control of Massawa. That is why countries don't connect Eritrea on Fenkel, because that could alienate Ethiopia. It seems that for the US now, Eritrea matters more than Ethiopia. That is why US government is not concerned about what Ethiopian government could do, how it could respond. But the US Embassy congratulated Eritrean people, not Eritrean government. It just shows, firstly, that under Trump administration, Eritrea US relations will improve. It seems signs are there. Ethiopia can be manipulated by the US through IMF, through World Bank, through other entities too. Eritrea cannot be blackmailed. It cannot be exploited by the US. US will have to talk to Eritrea. So that is why Eritrea is in a better position to be on good terms with Trump government. Eritrea not receiving any direct aid from the US. Trump is opposed to giving aid to other countries. And Eritrea could play a role in Trump's policy about Houthis. Trump wants to silence Houthis. Eritrea could play a role that we'll discuss in coming videos. But perhaps Eritrea is more relevant, more significant for the US than Ethiopia. When on Fenkel Day, US congratulates Eritrea, it means that it is not concerned how Ethiopia will respond to it. And secondly, maybe it's a message for Ethiopia that Eritrean sovereignty must be respected. That borders have been drawn, now the borders cannot be changed. The dream of unification, the dream of confederation, the dream of regaining Massawa or Assam are just dreams. Borders should be respected. Let's see how Ethiopia responds. Will Ethiopia respond? Will it issue a statement? Because on Fankal, Ethiopia remained silent. And I did not see other countries congratulate Eritrea on Fankal. Not lots of countries congratulated, just US congratulated, showing that US is intent on improving its ties with Eritrean government. Thank you for watching.